The power of having a purpose, right? I mean, you guys have now set your minds on this. This is on your bucket list. You've got all these women that are passionate about joining you, and all you had to do is just get out of your comfort zone. When you reached a level of depression or hopelessness in your circumstances, a lot of us feel at times like, as soon as I feel better, then I will try this. In your feeling really hopeless and depressed, you look for something that can be purposeful and that can leave a legacy, and then you go for it. Hello and welcome to Woman Power. I'm your host Lorna Grayling, and in today's episode we are going to be talking to Dineo Dowd. She is one of Wisconsin's 48 most influential Black women nominated in 2021. She is an author, she's a mother, she's a wife, and she is here all the way from Wisconsin joining us over Zoom. Dineo, welcome to the show and thank you so much for your time.
Thank you for having me, Lorna. I am very excited to be here today.
Wow. So one of Wisconsin's 48 most influential Black leaders. Congratulations. That's fantastic.
Thank you so much. Yeah, it came as a surprise because I was like, I didn't know anybody cares.
Dineo, I mean, I've been going through your Instagram and I have to say, you look like you are having the time of your life. Your life just looks so rich and you have this incredible love for the outdoors. Tell me, why are you so passionate about being outdoors?
I feel like I have a second chance to be a child because growing up in South Africa, I had a different background. I didn't get to do all these cool things that I'm doing right now. So for me, it's just like going with the flow. And I am raising a girl who is so adventurous. And I'm like, okay, if I have to start all over again, let's do it together. Let's get outside and enjoy the outdoors.
That's wonderful. How old is your daughter now?
She is 7 years old.
Oh, that's beautiful. That is such a nice age. I love 7. I've got 3 daughters and they are teenagers now. And let me tell you, enjoy them when they were little because they get quite interesting when they become teenagers. I now know why certain insects eat their young. I think it's to avoid the teenage years.
Yeah, I can see it already. Like a 7-year-old, sometimes she can tell me like, oh, today I'm not doing this, I'm doing something else. So I feel you.
Do you think that you are doing all this to kind of make up for lost time when you grew up in South Africa? So you're giving this, we always try and give our kids something that we never had. Or is being outside something that brought victory into your own life?
Yeah, because that's the thing that I have always been curious and wanted to do things. And I have always asked questions and never had like proper answers, like, why is this happening? So I have just always, and growing up around Free State in Kwakwa around mountains, like I will see the tourists all the time, just like backpacking. And, growing up, I'm like, I want to do that. Like, I was just like so curious seeing people with this backpack. I wonder what's inside there and everything. And then just growing up and finally I am free. I can do all these things that I've always wanted to do. All it took was just like me trying to find my passion. And my passion was like, I want to be outside. I want to be free. But then when I became a mom, I wanted to give my daughter this lifestyle. I wanted her to be exposed to the outdoors as soon as she was born, and I didn't want her to miss out like I did, and I am seeing such a huge difference right now. She is such a happy kid. She's more free when she's outside. It's just like me. Like if we're just sitting in the house, we're like, let's go outside. Like, the outside to us just means the world. Like we cannot be around four walls. We step outside in our backyard. Like we try to get outside every day because I can't even see myself without just stepping outside. So the outdoors means a lot to us.
I know during COVID, I mean, we were locked in. I was still in South Africa at the time, and we weren't even allowed to go outdoors. We were not even allowed outside in the streets, and we were literally locked into our homes between certain hours. And I know, even me, it felt like I was going to lose my mind at some stage. It's like we need the outdoors. So I know that you're going to great lengths to influence other women, especially Black women, because I know you said in your culture and when you grew up in South Africa in the Black culture, it wasn't something that you did necessarily, is go out and do outdoor things and outdoor adventures and hikes and all these, explore your nature and your environment around you. So how are you influencing other women to do that, and why? Actually, let me ask you that as well.
Yeah, that's a really good question. Coming from this background where like I've always been curious and wanted to do all these things, when I came here, I was very desperate to join into other women's group, and I have always been the minority all the time. Mm-hmm. And did it bother me? Yes, it did bother me. But then I was doing what I was happy doing. I needed to get outside for my mental health, like you have expressed. During COVID, it was really hard on us just to stay inside because now we were being told you need to be home, and it took a toll on my mental health. And I was so grateful that I had a backyard. I can still get outside, and I was so grateful that I have created that lifestyle whereby I just need nature to survive every day. It really helped a lot just walking around the neighborhood. But then when it comes to women, I have realized that women, we have so many issues that we are dealing with. And I may not even know what you're dealing with right now, but what has helped me to be where I am right now, I'm not gonna lie, it's the outdoors. My love for the outdoors. I will run because I have headache. I will run because I'm struggling with something. Like whenever I'm feeling down or anything, I go out to the outdoors to find healing. The outdoors has healed me. It's like a calling and nobody will ever understand that. I'm more happier when I'm outside. And what I'm trying to do with this joy is just trying to reach out to moms, especially moms. Like I understand the younger generation, they still have time to try other things. But as a mom who is living abroad with no family. When I had my child, it was just me and my husband in hospital. I went back home. I didn't have any help. I had to get up in the middle of the night and do it all because that's what mothers do. And the only thing that saved me when I was starting to hit bottom rock, like just thinking of like, okay, what do we do now? What am I doing with this child and everything? Again, I look outside the mountains and I'm like, I need to get outside of the house. I need to find groups that they will accommodate me with my daughter. And again, I had the mountains to go out for and find healing. So right now what I am doing, I have been working with some nonprofit organization like Hike It Baby, where we take newborns up to the school age outdoors, because that's the age that really needs to be exposed to diversity and the outdoors. And most of all, moms or new parents, those are the people that really need guidance, that really need support, because being a mother, it's so hard. I can't even imagine just doing it abroad like me. I have done it. People are like, how did you do it? I had to get outside every day and take a walk around the neighborhood, So I'm really trying to reach out to people of color, especially women, but it's not easy. Am I done? No. Every day I meet someone new. they meet me through social media, it's like, I am not going to save the whole world, but the more I see one person, for me, it's like, okay, now you can go and talk about your experience.
I can so relate to what you're saying because I also immigrated to the United States, and it's really hard going to a new country and even just a new state or a new area, even in your own state. And what a good way to relate, like you say, to other moms, the way you are doing through social media. And I mean, I can tell our viewers, you can follow Dineo. She's on Instagram. I will put her handle on the screen as well. But Dineo, yeah, even me, when I go and, when I just need my head space cleared up, I take a run. I go and run outside. Or even if I'm working hard and I have a block in my mind, I think, I need a breakthrough, I go and sit outside in the garden. And it's true what you're saying, like there's just some healing that comes outside. It's like you get better vision and better ideas, and yeah, I can so relate. Dineo, you have had to completely go out of your comfort zone to be where you are now. How did you take that step to go out of your comfort zone? I mean, you saw the mountains when you were young and you wondered, like, how would it be to be on those trips and, to be a tourist and have these adventures. But at some stage, I believe you had to go out of that comfort zone. How did you take that first step? Because it's so comfortable to be comfortable, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm still not comfortable. Just last week, I went ice fishing for the first time, and I couldn't stop thinking that if this ice cracks open, we're going to break the news. Like, so I am still not comfortable. And that's the thing that the media was painting, Black people as like, we didn't like the outdoors or anything, but then we were scared because, the space was not safe for us. So with me, I think right now is I am very fortunate now that I have people who will reach out to me and say, hey, would you like to try this? And I'm always saying yes. Like, I'm open to new experiences. I'm so kind, I'm open-minded, and I'm still curious. And I just want to, set a good example for my daughter that when you have opportunities, you grab them and you go figure it out instead of just sitting back and being afraid. And that's the other thing that we talk about with my daughter, that don't say you are afraid, say you want to do it. You want to do it, and we're going to try this, and we're not going to give up. So I think just being kind and down to earth and reaching out to people. If you need help, say something. If you see something, say something.
Yeah, absolutely. I love that, what you were saying about just you're still uncomfortable. And I know someone told me the other day that, get comfortable being uncomfortable. Right? And I think that there's such truth in that, right? I mean, we all want to be comfortable, but I don't think that there's ever really any victory in being comfortable. It's just nice for the moment, but real success, and I'm being nominated as this influential Black leader. I mean, you had to go out of your comfort zone and still do things that you're afraid to do. So congratulations. I mean, I really honor you for that.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm still not comfortable, even just like, opening up about my experiences, because someone can be like, oh, that's the issue. So I will always be uncomfortable, but then I am dealing with it day by day. Like, this is it. This is my life, and I'm going to have to keep sharing this story and just like creating a community. Someone who finally can listen and say, okay, I hear you and I understand what you're saying.
Like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel to allow us to make more episodes and be inspired and empowered by incredible people.
Times that we really thought he was dead, because he would be screaming and you would hear all this torture, and then they would shoot.
I said to Lorna, you couldn't feel Jesus, it felt like he left you. You're sort of on your own.
Dineo, I know you've got a huge event coming up in August. Tell us a little bit about that and why is it so exciting for you to go and do this with other women?
Yeah, so during lockdown, as everybody was just in the houses, locked in these four walls that I hate so much, I started getting frustrated, really depressed on like, okay, now we can't even go to the same park that we like to go. You know, now they're telling us that we have to stay home. So I started looking at like, what is it that I still have on my bucket list, which I encourage every woman to have. Like, you kind of need a bucket list because our buckets are already full. Just being a mom, it's a full-time job. It's not going to end tomorrow. Even if something happens to your child, you're still going to be a mom. So we have our bucket full already with just the responsibility. But then what are you going to do for yourself? So with me, I have a bucket list where I just write things that I'm going to do for Dini. And one of the things that I did last year during lockdown, I registered for running my first ultra. And for me, it was like, I don't know if we're still going to be on lockdown, but I needed to get healthy. I needed to get in the positive mindset. And I started running outside and I finished my ultra. And I have always been running 5 miles. And I'm like, here we are in Utah now running these mountains and everything. Who am I? So I finished my first ultra. And then after that, I hit depression again because I was like, okay, I had something to keep me going for the past 9 months. What am I going to do now? It seems like, I always have to have something going. And if I don't have that, I am just like, in a deep depression. And then Kilimanjaro came to my mind. I said, well, I have seen people for years, climbing Kilimanjaro. Is this even real or something? I started looking into it, and I happened to connect with Sarah Kumalo, who is the first African Black woman to summit Mount Everest. And she told me that I have been to Mount Kili, and if you would like to go, I am happy to take you there. So this was just a dream of mine, like, oh, okay, we're doing this, we're going in August. And then I happened to put it on my social media, and about 1,000 women were like, we're going, we want to do this. Like, where have you been?
Oh my goodness.
So that for me was like, gosh, these women, they are really, going through what I am going through. They are reaching out. Someone is just sitting there needing that thing to lift me up and something. So that was like right there for me. It was like, we really need to talk more as women.
Yes, absolutely. Wow.
Yeah, it was like shocking. Like, now we have a group of women, and what's so inspiring about it is just listening to these stories of moms who have never even had a passport. They were like, okay, because it's you are doing this. We want to do it with you because we have seen you doing things, overcoming your fears and going through, stuff and, just being happy when you're out there. Like listening to the stories whereby mom says, I have never left my kids. I have teenagers. Like, I don't know. And we were like, oh, you feel bad. Like, I left my daughter when she was 6 months old. I didn't know it was that bad. So it just like the stories that I started hearing once this group starting to get together, I was like, I cannot wait to meet these women in real life. I cannot wait to start this adventure because this is going to be great. And the other thing is that really kind of like got me excited is I've always said it. If I have to go to Kilimanjaro, I want to be led by a woman. I want to be led by someone who's going to understand me. So that's the thing. What does that tell you? Women are more comfortable with women. And that's how I have realized if I am leading something, women are going to show up. But then if it's a man, they're like, whoa, we're not doing that. Where are you? So for me, just learning that Sarah Kumalo has gone through, these experiences, her story was so inspiring after trying so many times to submit and failing. And I was like, if I have to do this thing, I have to do it with you. And just bringing these women that I have never even, met face to face, and they are willing to do this, that shows how strong women are. And just like I'm saying, we are building a community. I have never even met them, but they feel like we are best friends now. So I'm like, yeah, way to go, moms. Let's do it. Let's take the world, you know?
Absolutely. And I think what kind of jumps to my mind is just the power of having a purpose, right? I mean, you guys have now set your minds on this. This is on your bucket list. You've got all these women that are passionate about joining you. And all you had to do is just get out of your comfort zone, put it out there, start reaching for it, even though you knew you could possibly fail at it, but you just kept on persevering. So wow, what a beautiful story.
I know, it's just moving, just you know, thinking that these people are willing to get their passport to meet up with me. Like I didn't even care. Like I was just like, I can't even believe that you guys are trusting me with this thing. So it just shows how powerful women are, you know. And for me, every time I see women outdoors, just like being a leader of like backpacking, you know, teaching, canoeing, stuff like that, I'm like, yeah, you know, I'm all about the support, you know, I'm like, we need to take the world, like women need to do this.
Yes, absolutely. I so agree with you. I think something else that really touched me in your story now was just that when you reached a level of depression or hopelessness in your circumstances, you know, a lot of us feel at times like, as soon as I feel better, then I will try this, right? But what I hear from you is that in your feeling really hopeless and depressed, you look for something that can be purposeful and that can leave a legacy, and then you go for it, right? So you're not really waiting for a feeling, you are deciding, you're going, and then the feelings are following. Am I right?
Yeah, because I mean, I see women with depression every day. It's really bad. Like depression, mental health is real. It's no joke. I see it every day. And with me, I realized that you just have to say something to somebody. You need to talk about it and find solutions, you know.
Absolutely. And what a better solution than to be outside, right? I mean, that is the ultimate.
Yeah, and that's the other thing. That's the advantage, that with the outdoors, we don't have to negotiate anything. You can just step outside your door. Just step outside your door and, you know, take a deep breath.
There's so much healing in nature. I totally agree. Dineo, I know you're an author as well. Apart from everything that you're doing and the beautiful way that you're inspiring women, you've authored 6 books. Tell us a little bit about your books and why did you decide on these specific topics? It's children's books, right?
Yes, I have written children's books, and the whole thing started when I became a mom. I was looking for hiking books or just books that were related to a lifestyle that I have created. And I couldn't find any books that were like about hiking or camping. And then I decided that, you know what, I am just going to go ahead, because I love writing. I enjoy writing, and write my own stories and tell my authentic stories. And, you know, also have diverse characters, because the world is so diverse right now. So why are we still reading books that only has white faces? Like, it didn't make sense for me. And I was like, I'm not even going to wait or knock at the publishing doors and be like, can you publish me? I'm just going to go ahead and write the story the way I will understand it, and I can like relay it to the kids to understand it. And my first book that I actually published was Adventure Day, which is also available on Amazon. So Adventure Day was just a simple story. You know, we moved from Utah coming to Wisconsin, and we didn't have any friends. I didn't know anybody. We just moved here trying to get close to the family. And the social media again helped me. I reached out to a group of people. I said, hey, do you guys want to meet us for a hike? And I had 5 moms reaching out and showing up for the first time. And we went on this amazing adventure whereby they really trusted me again. I'm surprised these people keep showing up. Like, they trusted me that we're going to find a waterfall. Like, that hike just changed our lives that day. We didn't even think there were any waterfalls in Wisconsin. We end up finding a waterfall. We end up finding community again. You know, we end up making friends. We end up realizing that, oh, Wisconsin is really not that bad. So that whole experience, we took it home, and just going through the pictures, I just knew it that somebody has to read the story. Somebody has to get the story and just like, maybe change their lives and see that, the outdoors is really for everybody.
What would your advice be for other women that is looking at this thinking, oh, I would love to get into the outdoors, but maybe they feel like either their background or their culture is, kept them from it, or they might think, oh gosh, I'm not fit enough, I'm overweight, I'm just, physically not able to see myself doing that. What advice would you give to those women that would help them conquer that next step to just go for it and get outdoors and start their journey as you have as well?
Yeah, when I started, unfortunately, we didn't have all these resources, and I'm talking about 9 years ago. But women are so fortunate right now. We have so many resources. Like if you go on Instagram right now, type in Adventure Mamas. That's a great movement of like all bodies. Like all bodies deserve to be outdoors and everything. And whether you are into hiking, camping, anything that you would like to, try out there, we have so many resources. All you have to do, we have Outdoors Afro, we have Latino hiking. Like there are so many groups right now that are coming up on Instagram that will be the first place to reach out. And if you don't find anything, don't hesitate to send me a message, and I will seriously provide you with some resources. But the nice thing is we do have resources all over the world now. There's so many groups that are starting up in any activity that you are trying to, to get into.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Dineo. Thank you for your time, and thank you for your enthusiasm for the outdoors. I hope that you will reach thousands more women and children, because the kids these days tend to want to look at a screen too much, and it's so unhealthy. So congratulations on the work that you are doing.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Well, that's it from me, Lorna Grayling and Woman Power. If you would like to get in contact with Dineo, her website will be on the screen right now. Until next week, goodbye. Like, share and subscribe to our YouTube channel to allow us to make more episodes and be inspired and empowered by incredible people.